これから英語ディベートの説明を行います。まず、ディベートとは討論のことであり、この英語ディベートはイギリスの議会から発展したものだと言われています。次に、英語ディベートにおけるスピーカー、発言者の順序について説明します。まず、ディベートはガバメントサイド、与党とオポジションサイド、野党に分かれていて、まず与党の内閣総理大臣、プライムミニスターが1番目に話します。次に、野党のリーダーである、Leader of Opposition が2番目に話します。そして3番目と4番目は野党・与党の党員である、Member of Government and Opposition が3番目と4番目に話します。そして2番目と4番目、そして1番目と3番目の、それぞれの内容をまとめたものを、話すのがリプライスピーカー、5番目と6番目の人ですね。で、最後に普通はジャッジメントといって、ジャッジが、判定、どちらが勝ったのかということを、判決を下します。この大会、ミヤマカップ2020においては、視聴者の皆さんに、勝敗を決めていただきます。これで、英語ディベートの説明を終わります。ありがとうございました。
In Japan, there are a lot of teachers who give students a lot of homework. Some students think that they do not need homework because they think that homework is just a waste of time and there are many important things they must do. So we would strongly like to propose. We define as this motion will take place in Japan. We have three arguments. First, the communication skills, and second, reduce the stress of teachers, and three, active learning. The second speaker will explain about the third point. Okay, let me talk about the first point, communication skills. By reducing the time for homework, we can have a lot of time for communication. For example, talk with friends, and also foreign people, and other sexes, and so on. The more time you spend time on communication, the more communication skills you can acquire. The opposition side may say that education is the most important thing in school. We will not deny the fact that education is important. However, we say that communication skills are far more important than education. Homework. Why? We think that high quality education stands when the students have enough communication skills. For example, there are a lot of bullying in Japan nowadays, and students who got bullied stop going to school and because they do not have enough communication skills. Like, for example, they can't get together with their friends. Yeah, and it is the government's responsibility to save those kinds of children and have them study. So communication skills are much more important than education. Okay, and even if the students are not bullied, the communication skills are still essential because like when we start working, then like we start to work with like colleagues, and so we have to have communication with those kinds of people. So we need those kinds of communication skills. So for those reasons, we think that students do not need homework. And I'll talk about the second point, reducing the stress of teachers. By reducing homework, teachers do not have to check each student's homework, and the teachers can think a lot more about the students more. And we can substitute homework for doing tests at school. For those two reasons, we would strongly like to propose. Thank you.
Okay, I'm a leader of opposition side. we believe that students need homework. First, I will review the previous speaker. Previous speaker said that communication skill is more important than academic skills. But it's not related. Students communicate with others at school or at home or in society, whether there is or there isn't homework. And they also said that reducing teachers' stress, but making tests also can be their stress, like checking homework. Okay, I will move to our point. We have 3 points. First point is decline students' abilities. Second point is this motion increases their education gap. And third point is doing homework will be practical in the future. I will explain first and second point. Homework is nearly the opportunity for many students to learn or outside the school. If they take this motion, student intelligence will decline. I will explain in detail. On the assumption, homework promotes reviewing, practicing, outputting about what they learn by themselves. First, students won't develop their study habit. Second, students will not be able to improve their abilities to use some basic knowledge effectively. They also can't learn how to manage their time and try to solve many problems. People forget easily if they don't review or use it, so their academic abilities will go down. It will be bad for students because they can't develop some knowledge well in society. It will be bad for also society because there will be a lot of people who can't try to solve difficult problems by themselves. Second point is the education gap will increase. Because if there is no homework, some students can study outside of school, like Juku. However, other students who can't afford won't have chance to study. So the education gap will increase. Not wealthy students can make the most of their abilities. It is a serious problem because they each raise their future job or income. For example, only wealthy families' children can go to high-level school, and they can get more chance to get good salary job since only they can study outside of school. No homework will lose the many children future chance. It also has large damage to this society. Therefore, I oppose this motion. Thank you.
First, to my points. And relevant with the points raised by the first speaker, I state that with acquiring of communication skills and less stress at home, meaning being able to have more focus and energy at school, students will be able to participate in active learning more effectively. Therefore, homework should be abolished. Less stress leads to more focus at school. When students do homework, it adds unnecessary stress to students, and then this can distract students from accessing to leisure time and community activities that also teach important life skills, as well as developing communication skills. Homework is mainly consisted by paperwork, in contrast to active learning being consisted by group work and discussion. Needing these skills at schools, but currently not able to train outside school, which is the only opportunity to train because of homework, along with stress, not enough time, lack of fundamental skills, and no effective active learning. We need to make students train these skills at home for use in active learning. Obtaining skills that can only be acquired outside of paperwork leads to enriching inner content of students. A study by scholar Dennis Hogue at Stanford University revealed that out of 4,300 students at high-performance schools, 60% considered or stated that homework is a primary source of stress. Students are made to do homework when they are tired, and every single school in the world sets homework to be done after school, obviously because the name is homework. This means that most students are tired after the 8-hour-long school day and will not have full concentration when they are attending school, and their performance will go down, and isn't the whole point of homework helping you to study. Therefore, we are very happy to propose.
as the second speaker, I would like to define our third point. And as the third point, we believe that homework will make us prepare for the society. And I would like to break it up into 4 parts. Firstly, we think that homework will be able to make us manage huge workloads. We would be likely to be given after we go out into the society. And if we didn't do homework, we think that it'll be very hard for them to finish it. And secondly, we think that homework teaches us time management skills. And in this society, being able to manage time is very important. As if we weren't able to manage, these tasks on time, it is very probable that it would trouble others. And thirdly, we think that it could teach us responsibility. And that would make them take ownership of the tasks when they start working. And this relates to the second point. But it could make us have responsibility that if you didn't finish the work, it might trouble others too. And lastly, it allows the students to be independent from their teachers. And in school, when a student finds out something he or she didn't know, it is very likely that they would ask the teachers. But at home, it is likely that you would have to, work those problems out by themselves. And this would help students gain independency. And this is why we believe that homework will make us prepare for the society. And I would like to end my speech there. Thank you.
The government has neglected to examine the function of education. They do not bother about what will occur to students after we adopt this plan. And for those reasons, we are proud to announce that we have won this debate. So, in my speech, I will talk about 2 things. 1, how their case is not so visible in today's debate. And 2, I will compare it with their and our arguments. And so, the government has underestimated the primary role of education. According to the Prime Minister, learners do not have communication skills because they have to finish their homework. Why? We do not deny the significance of communication skills. We need them when we become adults. However, we also think that we can gain them in the state school by sharing classmates, friends, teachers, and club activities. There is no relevance here. There are other discussions to stand as well. Teachers are here to support the students' academic ability. Checking the homework is the teacher's responsibility, and there is no need to consider that. And we do not understand the relationship between task and active learning. For those reasons, their arguments not be considered in this debate. Secondly, I will raise long-term benefits. As our leader of this has explained, students will lose their chance to review what they have learned during class when there is no homework. Checking what they have learned from their teacher is significant to academic ability. In their world, students will not study after school and during long breaks. We think that affects the students' academic abilities in a completely negative way. Students will lose their chance to review, decreasing their academic ability. As the Prime Minister has mentioned in this speech, we are talking about Japan, right? Japan values academic skills when students are taking extensive exams. Students will lose their chance to go to the school they would have preferred. What is it? The choice of your school would affect the students' teaching ways. While the government side was trying to support the students' teachers, and by trying to give communication in school, what they were doing is that they were narrowing the students' chances. In conclusion, academic abilities and management skills are meaningful for the students the most. While communication skills can be developed after they become adults, educational skills and management skills must be maintained from childhood. We have argued how our side understand the students' necessities more, and for those reasons, we beg to oppose the motion. Thank you.
2 classes, 1 academic level of students. It's not guaranteed that all students that is, are actually willing to do their homework. Students, if they didn't want to sacrifice any more of their precious time doing homework, doing something that they don't want to do, then they can just copy the answers, then turn it in, and just leave it as that. Whatever the reason, it's an undeniable truth that homework doesn't necessarily let teachers see if their students truly understand the content, because there's no way in knowing if they actually did the homework or just copied the answers. And for students, serve as an opportunity to practice knowledge they acquired. Under that, it's questionable if homework really is what it's supposed to be, both for the teachers and the students, or if it's just a waste of time and the meaningless sacrifice of the students' opportunity to develop other skills. Precious skills that can only be acquired, or at least are mostly acquired outside of school, paperwork, and homework. So the opposition's deification of homework really is just based on stereotypes that homework's like some sort of an ultimate cure-for-all medicine. Well, in reality, it's not. Their argument in this doesn't stand. Second class, what we can gain after each class, provided by both sides. We provide communication skills. There are reasons as to why the concept of active learning is being adopted in schools, not only in Japan, but all around the world. Communication skills will be acquired more than ever in classes, companies, workforces. If I were to say more, there are new types of entrance exams, entrance exams that require high level of communication skills. Communication skills have great importance not only in students' daily academic activities at school, but also their future careers, and it makes total sense for schools to stop assigning homework to promote more interactive activities when they are outside school. Whereas the opposition provided responsibility, independence, study habits, and time management. We believe that focusing on communication skills is still important, but that is not to say that we don't care about those factors. Abolish homework. Students can just focus on studying for examinations, which they will have to have more responsibility and independence, manage their time effectively to get good scores in exams, which of course will directly affect their grade, entrance of universities, and their future. But at the same time, let teachers know if the students understand concepts via test scores. My point here is that schools don't necessarily have to assign homework to the students to make them study. So the students can just study on their own. Homework will forcibly make students sacrifice a specific amount of time, while simply studying for tests has more flexibility. That's the difference. In this class, the opposition's benefits are more achievable on our side's promotion. Mind you, the opposition didn't actually understand the students' necessities. No, in fact, they didn't understand the characteristic of the very thing they were fighting for, homework, and from the very beginning of this debate, they should have lost.